The fluorescent lights of the courtroom cast a cold glow as the legal process unfolds. Thomas sits frozen, his body tense as the judge's pen seals his fate. Laura's victory is etched in the signed custody order, a document of irreversible change. The gavel falls, each strike echoing Thomas's shattered hopes. His face hardens into a mask, a futile attempt to contain the storm of anger and despair within. The courtroom air is thick with the weight of Thomas's crushing defeat. Thomas enters his sparsely furnished apartment, the silence amplifying his solitude. He opens his laptop, its glow illuminating his face with a determined resolve. The screen fills with digital fragments, bank statements, social media posts, employment records, each a piece of his past. The narration echoes, to take back what was taken from him, piece by piece. With grim determination, Thomas meticulously assembles a digital mosaic of his former life. Stripes of sunlight cut through the gloom of the private investigator's office, illuminating a clandestine meeting. Thomas leans forward, his face a mask of grave concern, as he confronts his former colleague. The PI, hardened by years of grim realities, listens with unwavering focus. A sealed envelope changes hands, its unseen contents promising profound implications. In the dead of night, Thomas hunches over a mountain of documents. His apartment, a sanctuary of secrets. Each annotation is a step deeper into the labyrinth, the room's dim light amplifying the covert nature of his quest. A digital trail of browser history flickers across the screen, each search a breadcrumb in his pursuit of truth. Subpoena drafts pile up, each one a potential hammer blow against the walls of deceit. Covert recordings play in the background, voices whispering secrets that could unravel everything. Bathed in sunlight, the coffee shop buzzes, yet a heavy silence hangs between Thomas and his worried friend. His friend leans in, concern etched on his face. Thomas, you need to think about this. About what you're doing. It won't bring her back. Thomas turns, his gaze hardening. It's not about bringing her back. It's about making sure no one else suffers the way she did. The way we did. The friend's voice is laced with desperation. But at what cost? This path, it'll consume you, Thomas. You'll lose yourself. A haunted look fills Thomas's eyes. I've already lost myself. This is the only thing that makes sense anymore. His voice firm, Thomas vows, I have to protect my daughter. Bathed in the stark glow of a desk lamp, Thomas's face reveals the toll of sleepless nights, his eyes shadowed by exhaustion. Forensic equipment and stacks of files engulf the cramped apartment, evidence of his relentless pursuit. Consumed by his meticulous work, he hunches intently over a microscope, a silent observer in his solitary world. The intrusive buzz of his phone shatters the silence, a stark reminder of the world beyond his self-imposed isolation. His expression hardens, a mask of resolve settling over his features as he deliberately ignores the insistent call. With steely determination, he returns to his meticulous plan, shutting out the distractions that threaten to derail his focus. In the sterile confines of the HR office, an anonymous envelope arrives, bearing secrets that could unravel a life. The HR manager's face hardens as she unveils the dossier, its stark label, Laura. Page after page, the HR manager delves into the accusations, her brow furrowing with each disturbing revelation. The documents whisper of financial impropriety, casting a dark shadow over Laura's reputation. Allegations of prescription misuse surface, adding another layer to the deepening scandal. In the sterile confines of Laura's office, the air is thick with unspoken tension. The words, "suspended pending investigation," echo, trapping Laura in a suffocating silence. The sterile environment of the office seems to close in, trapping Laura in a suffocating silence. A meticulously built career begins to unravel before Laura's eyes, each thread of ambition dissolving into nothingness. Stunned silence becomes a silent scream as the implications of the suspension crush Laura's hopes. In the dim light of his apartment, Thomas watches the news report, his expression unreadable. A fleeting moment of satisfaction flickers across Thomas's face as he hears the news about Laura. The satisfaction fades, leaving behind a hollow emptiness that settles over Thomas. Thomas sits alone, the apartment's silence save for the drone of the television. At the bank counter, Laura's initial hope fades as she tries to access her accounts. Frustration tightens Laura's brow as the teller's headshake confirms her worst fears. The teller's words hit hard. Laura's accounts, once secure, are now frozen. A wave of humiliation washes over Laura as the reality of her situation sinks in. Laura's face flushes with shame, a stark contrast to the bustling bank around her. The bank teller's sympathetic expression offers little comfort in Laura's moment of despair. Under the guise of neighborly chat, Thomas probes into Laura's family life, his words carefully chosen to sow seeds of doubt. "I was just curious about Laura's kids. Seem like she's always busy," Thomas remarks, his tone deceptively light. The neighbor's face clouds over, a flicker of unease betraying their growing suspicion. "Well, now that you mention it, I've had some concerns too. I'd be willing to provide a sworn statement to Child Protective Services." The neighbor agrees, their voice heavy with newfound worry. Sunlight barely penetrates the sterile Child Protective Services office, casting long shadows that amplify the room's coldness. The social worker listens intently, pen scratching furiously as the neighbor speaks of empty nights and unseen children. The neighbor recounts the many nights, each word painting a stark picture of Laura's neglect. With each harrowing detail, the social worker's expression hardens, her resolve solidifying in the face of unseen suffering. The sterile room becomes a battleground of unspoken truths, as the fate of a child hangs precariously in the balance. Shadows consume Laura's apartment, a stark reminder of its lost vibrancy. Laura's phone lies silent, a poignant symbol of her increasing isolation. Takeout containers scattered around hint at lonely meals. Desperation paints Laura's face, a silent scream in the desolate space. The corkboard becomes a stark chronicle of Laura's visits, each surveillance still a haunting echo of her routine. Each photograph is pinned to the board, like a web of suspicion tightening around Laura. Red circles highlight the timestamps, marking each transaction with an ominous precision. The meticulous arrangement of photos hints at a larger, unseen narrative. Sunlight fills the courtroom as Laura, resolute, accuses Thomas. "He orchestrated a smear campaign against me, Your Honor. A deliberate attempt to ruin my reputation." Thomas remains stoic, a mask of indifference shielding his thoughts. The judge, weary from the proceedings, warns, "I must caution against the appearance of coordinated attacks. This court will not become a stage for personal vendettas." Tension permeates the courtroom, threatening to dissolve the case into a morass of accusations. Amid the dimly lit chaos of his apartment, Thomas is drowning in files and cold coffee, his face etched with worry. Thomas stares at the stark white subpoena before him. A key piece of evidence is temporarily dismissed as circumstantial. The weight of the dismissed evidence crushes Thomas, deepening the lines of despair on his face. He is visibly worried, a storm of doubt brewing within him. The subpoena looms like a specter, a symbol of the uphill battle Thomas now faces. The law office is silent, except for the heavy air of confrontation. Thomas stands his ground, a fortress against the storm. Unspoken words hang in the balance, each glance a calculated move. The weight of the impending lawsuit crushes Thomas. He is a tightrope walker on the precipice of legal doom. The room feels smaller, as the threat of defamation looms large. Under the stark glare of a desk lamp, Thomas hunches over a chaotic array of papers, his concentration absolute. Shadows dance across the room as he meticulously connects photos, documents, and encrypted files, each piece clicking into place. Each connection tightens the knot, each piece of evidence locking into place with precision. The air crackles with the intensity of his focus as he executes his most dangerous move. The culmination of effort, a chain of irrefutable evidence now complete. The room holds its breath as the final piece falls into place, solidifying the truth. In the tense courtroom, Thomas's lawyer strides forward, a palpable confidence radiating from every step. The lawyer places the emergency motion before the court, setting the stage for a pivotal moment. A palpable buzz electrifies the courtroom as every eye fixates on the unfolding drama. The air crackles with anticipation, the courtroom holding its breath as the motion is presented. The courtroom buzzes as the hearing is called back into session. A tense atmosphere descends as the prosecutor rises to speak. The prosecutor's office makes a formal request for a temporary custody review. Murmurs ripple through the gallery as the request hangs in the air. The judge listens intently, a stern expression etched on their face. The weight of the decision settles heavily over the courtroom. The courtroom stands silent, heavy with unspoken tension. Laura's carefully constructed composure falters under scrutiny. She squirms, a bead of sweat betraying her inner turmoil. The weight of the evidence bears down on her. The judge watches, his expression unreadable. The courtroom falls silent, every whisper fading under the weight of impending judgment. Judge peers down from the bench, a stern figure ready to command order. The gavel strikes, its sharp sound cutting through the tense atmosphere. Judge adjusts his glasses, his gaze piercing as he prepares to deliver his decree. The judge declares, "Pending a full investigation, I am ordering a temporary transfer of custody." Under the solemn gaze of the courthouse, Thomas and his daughter step into the daylight. A father's grim victory casts a shadow over the scene. The courthouse looms, a silent witness to a soul's transaction. Thomas walks away, his daughter close, the price of reunion heavy on his heart. The air hangs still with the weight of an unspoken deal. In the bright day, a silent exchange echoes louder than any cheer. In the car, his daughter's innocent smile belies the complex machinery that sustains her life. She is absorbed by something unseen in the back seat, a world away from the reality of her fragile existence. Thomas watches her, a hollow victory etched on his face, a silent acknowledgement of the sacrifices made. The car moves forward, carrying them further away from the past, yet closer to an uncertain future. The filing cabinet drawer slides closed with deliberate weight, each folder a stark reminder. The drawer slams shut, its echo resonating like the final strike of a gavel. Thomas is driving home, the city lights blurring around him. The world outside fades into a muted hum, a stark contrast to the turmoil within Thomas. In the passenger seat of his own life, Thomas is a changed man. The weight of his journey is etched deeply into his weary eyes.